All right, is this good? Let's see here. All right, we have lights, camera, action on a bar stool here. Is this good? Yeah, it's probably good. We'll see. All right, let's see. So today ends on, it is still September 12th. We'll see. We'll see, whatever. So it's still September 12th for another 10 minutes, I guess. And today ends on a lot more better optimistic note than what today began as. And even what happened last day and yesterday, or day before yesterday as well. There should be a day, like a day before yesterday. It doesn't matter. We'll come up with that some other time. 9/10, happy birthday for me. Hit a deer in the middle of nowhere on a county road in the middle of nowhere. I went to bed. I think there's if I upload any, I probably will. But if I upload this stuff, you will have seen or heard, I think the little diary entry that I do audio stuff. So you will have heard that. So on 9/10, I went to bed not as upset as I thought I would be, and not as anxious as I thought, having just run over a deer in the middle of nowhere, making it back, and then what's going to happen with towing, I don't know. But of course, I couldn't sleep because it was anxiety provoking. So I couldn't really sleep, obviously. And then 9/11 comes, a horrific day where I couldn't figure out, with the towing at first, and they came. I don't think I did a video after that, but as you can see, I'm here. So I did make it back to my home, 200 miles of towing, $5.98, which, it's a good taxi ride, 200 miles, and I get my car back, so storm towing, I think, here in Texas. Good. There was a handoff because the company operates in the area, and Pedernales followed that whole area. And then they operate around Houston, so they handed it off to the same company. Doesn't matter. I rode with two different guys. Fun thing. It's fun. As fun as this gets. But I got back home. The car that barely drives got back home towed because, I could drive 15 miles, 5 miles there, 10 miles back to the campsite, but it was leaking. Half the headlights are missing. Right. So that's just the recap. So last 2 days were not fantastic, and. But I could finally, so I got home 9/11, and it was like, all right, fine, I'll just watch some TV. I can't even walk. I'm not even hungry. But I lost 10 pounds in the last few days. I'm now 130 something pounds, 139 maybe. I went down to the gym today, and I actually measured myself, and it's like, holy shit. I think I haven't eaten over the last few days, and it just kind of got to me. But I don't know, my six-pack is, well, we're not going to show that off. We don't need to see it. But the point is, it's, yeah, but yesterday I could sleep better, from 11 to, 6:30-ish. And I did one last thing I could do yesterday is schedule a pickup from Enterprise. I could schedule that, and they did come today. I thought I might be stranded without a car for the next few days, and But they did show up at 10 a.m. as they promised. And we drove back and paperwork. Ugh. I got a truck. I signed up for a compact small car. I have an Elantra that was hit by the deer. And, this truck. It's a black one. Tacoma, I don't know. Right, so it's a Tacoma four-wheel, I don't know. The point is a truck. And, it feels like driving a tank, but I'm getting used to it. I kind of measured the width of it. It's not that much wider than, it's like a compact truck, but it's not much wider than even the Elantra I have. It's a little longer because it has a truck bed thing in the back. But, I've been, I drove a little bit here and there, not too much. And, the guy was like, oh, maybe a compact car is coming tomorrow, so you can kind of trade it in. they comp me on it, so I'm paying the same price. It doesn't matter. But the point is, like, I might get used to this. You know, I might get used to this. Anyways, anxiety. Right. And you know, I did wake up at 6:30. I do want to talk more than just basic details. I do want to talk more about the Fifi stuff, because it's important. You know, it's. I had some successes today, and we'll get to those specifically. But you know, the anxiety stuff. I did wake up at 6:30, and it was like, all right, I'm kind of well rested. I didn't sleep the night before very much. 2 hours at the campsite. But when I woke up at 6:30, it was like, oh, I could still go to bed a little bit. I could still sleep. And I could not. I couldn't really fall back asleep. And the anxiety came back of, oh, are they going to deliver the car here? Or is it going to be, am I going to be stuck without a car for a day? That kind of bullshit. And, you know, I tried listening to some audiobook stuff. It was kind of calming. And as I was just finally falling back asleep, it's like I just kind of started shaking, you know? And I wasn't even thinking about anything. I was just drifting back into sleep. And then it's like I start shaking, like, you know, wake the fuck back up. And, you know, I'm in a bit more of a jolly mood right now, you know, because, well, the truck is okay. We'll get to the body shop stuff. They already picked it up. So the old car, right, or the Elantra, they might be able to fix it. But the point is, you know, I did get up, I got the truck, and then I did a couple errands. I called a doctor about this nasty ingrown hair. I think in the June videos you might see it if you look closely, and it's just been bothering me. But it's like, all right, we got an appointment for Wednesday, you know, something to look forward to. Yeah, doctor's visit about ingrown hair cysts. Yeah. Something to look forward to. I get these every couple of years, and they don't go away for a while, and it's like, oh, let's just fucking deal with this. You know, poking at it, that's not gonna work. Did that many times before previously. Not on this one. I know better now. I know better. So let's see here. So you know, yeah, the blah 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 errand. So I did some errands, some bank stuff that I had to do unrelated to this whole shenanigans. I called the repair places and all that. You know, apparently I need a body shop, not just a car mechanic fix place. Body shop does more of the body work. And, you know, the first place, you know, they talked me into it. Free towing there, free estimate, free towing back if I don't like it. The guy himself said there wasn't that much damage. I'll probably put up the video that I sent out to the different repair places and whatever, but 4-minute short little video. But there doesn't seem to be as much damage as you would expect from a deer. And I don't think the deer were very big. I think it was multiple that I hit. Because on the bumper that still had the headlights on, or that side of the car, you could see some hair furs that stuck into it. The other side, you can see deer hairs. I haven't done the DNA analysis to verify how many deer I hit based off that. There were at least 3 deer in the vicinity, and I probably hit 2 of them. You know, in case you're counting at home. But anyway, so, yeah. But anyway, so you know, they picked it up at 5:30. They came here earlier than, they said 6. They came at 5:30. Great. So, you know, I went to the pool finally. I had a walk. I went to the pool. Kind of got back into the routines on that. You know, sauna, steam room. It's all great. So, you know, the day ended on a much bigger upswing, and part of it is, you know, I have talked about the suicide stuff, the anxiety stuff, and, you know, it's the part of the issue is when I finally hit a low, like this morning or yesterday or day before yesterday, it's just, the anxiety is just overwhelming, you know, it's just this. And I think in some of the videos, like the fan videos, if this goes up, the fan stuff goes up as well. So you'll know what I'm talking about. Those were actually recorded when I was in a really awful mood. And yeah, it's just the suicide stuff. It just comes up, you know. And I think part of the pattern for me has been this anxiety thing where something bad is happening. And then the anxiety is like, fucking do this, fucking fix this, fucking fix this, fucking fix this. And part of that is, well, you don't fix it, let's fucking kill ourselves, you know? And part of the interesting thing today was, and often it is, that I think of the suicide stuff, but it's like, can I do it right now? Could I? And even at the lowest, it's like, no, not really. Not right now. Maybe like right in the future sometime I can, but even like right now, if I had the means, and no, it's just like fucking, you know, just fucking struggle through whatever this is, and just one step in front of the other. And even small things like, let's schedule a doctor's appointment for this. There are some other bank errands that were not, again, related to this, but I kind of had them scheduled up. Even these small little things kind of boost my mood, you know? And it's like, all right, we're finally getting something done here. Now, it really helped that, you know, the truck is, or I have a car now. That helps. And, you know, the fact that, you know, I have a, they're working on the estimate for the car, and the guy said he'll get back to me tomorrow. You know, so it's that, you know, it helps that, you know, things kind of went my way today. You know, it really helps that as much as I could do today, I did, and on top of the stuff that I can't control, like whether they have a car for rental available and whether a body shop, you know, is open and I don't have to wait another day or two to have that picked up. You know, I can't control those things, and those went in my favor, so that helps, you know. But nonetheless, it's like, okay, we'll take a good day, or we'll take a good ending here. But okay, so it's been 11, 12 minutes, and yeah, I mean, it's easy to sort of be contented with, oh, good things happen today, so that's fine. I'll just sit here and go back to my complacency about things. And again, we're not out of the woods on this one. It still isn't repaired. Prices, you know, is the car's like $4,000 maybe if you bought. But I like it. It's not the price of it. But, you know, if you have a very expensive repair, it's like, well, you know, I might as well, you know, buy a new one. But then buying a new one, or buying a different car, maybe even the same year, or do we buy a new one? Then research. So I just want this fixed, you know. So even if it costs, you know, half the price of 3/4 of the car to fix, it's like maybe it's worth it out of the convenience, you know. I don't know, right? But we'll get to that tomorrow when I get an estimate back. So, but I have a good feeling about it. It's you know, it was well rated on Yelp, Google reviews. I think, you know, the guy seemed pretty competent on the phone. So I don't know. We'll see. I like their free towing as well, so that's nice, because I was like, well, you tow it there, they give a big estimate, it's like, well, tow it back, so, you know, that's $200 off the top, right? No, but it's free. Okay. So, but the point is the complacency, you know, it's just easy to have it doesn't matter, who cares? There's a mirror behind this, but I can't. It's black. It doesn't matter if I'm in the frame, as long as it can be heard. So it's easy to be complacent and say, "Oh, great, we don't have to deal with this." But this exposes the problems of the kind of isolation I've had for the last, I don't know, all my life. That I've been, passively. Well, we'll put. Let me put a bookmark in that, because I do say. So I've been passively, you know, sort of wanting to. You know, with the Grero thing, Grero.com, right? The main thing that this channel used to be about, and everything else, just the masculine likes masculine. In fact, I'm seeing the rows of books over here, right behind here. All the stuff that I kept even after the move. But anyway, so, you know, I try to find like-minded people, and it's kind of hard to do that, you know? And as I've discussed before, it's not about the Grero thing. It's not about the homo stuff. Yes, I kind of want to find people who get that, but it's about the parent stuff. I think that's a much more central issue. And again, if this goes up, the others, you might get a taste of that. You know, my parents were kind of abusive to me. Nothing sexual, not much physical stuff. It was the kind of mindfuck, the emotional stuff. And So I kind of put Grero out there thinking, oh, well, maybe I'll find some like-minded people we can throw a ball around, etc. Masculine, but not quite true. Not true. Yeah, not straight, not gay, right? That's the tagline, right? And I thought, okay, I'll find some like-minded people there. And, then maybe I can talk about this really inconvenient thing that nobody really wants to talk about with abusive parents and toxic parents. And did I? Oh yeah, this book right here, right? And the other books. And again, we've kind of hinted at these and stuff like that. Yeah, go see the other ramblings. And again, this is rambling, I get it, but this is part of the process. And I think the contentedness today I have, I don't want to just be like, oh, this is great, and I don't have to talk about this anymore. I think this is in some ways opening me up to finally saying, all right, I almost got killed by the fucking deer. I almost got stranded in the middle of nowhere. It seems like I'm, doing a little better now. So I'm in a better place to not just continue to go back to being passive and trying to find people by throwing out the Grero thing. And I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. Maybe I need to write a diagram about this. But again, these videos that I still have a backlog from July, right? And if this goes, you'll have seen what the backlog is. This is now September 12th, probably 13th, by how many minutes this has been. But I don't want to find people, I didn't find people passively, And that has a big bearing on the anxiety levels, which is I can't really rely. I have to rely on the kindness of strangers and the money I throw at them. And, it helps. There's a tow truck. They'll take money, but it's like, holy shit. I was out there. I think I mentioned this in the previous videos, but I had a 7 years old dumb phone. And it's like I have to be jumping around to find a good reception in the bottom of the fucking canyon or whatever it is, the hills, and it works in this spot but not in this spot, and the charger, I have to, oh my god, it's just, so it sucks that I don't have anyone to rely on in my life, right? And that's not something people want to admit, other people, that's not something I've wanted to admit, that it's like, yep, I've just sort of secluded myself from everywhere, thinking, because I can't find people who are and I do want to find like-minded people who get this stuff, but in my mind, this is very clear, and I know it's not coming out that way, and that's why you have to keep repeating this and rambling like a crazy person. And maybe, like a statue, you kind of chisel away at it, and it's like, what is this blob? And then maybe at one point, it looks like, yeah, I'm a statue chiseler. Yes, I'm a chiseler here. So it's like I do want to talk about we can talk about the Grero stuff. We can talk about gay, straight, and the reason why, and homosexualities, and Greek society, and sexual behavior in the human male by biological exuberance. I've wanted to talk about, and we can maybe do that, but the hopelessness has always been, I put the Grero thing out there, that didn't work, I didn't need anybody off that, a couple people. If you're watching, you're probably from that, right? But there hasn't been anything worth calling any sort of a community, right? It's just been nothing. And, I went out to Pedernales Falls with, thinking maybe I'll get some peace out there. I'll think about this. And in some ways I kind of have. This deer hitting stuff and the tow truck and then the rental. It's shaken me out of my complacency. And this is kind of what I wanted, which is let's finally find a way to where I can talk about this stuff. This stuff and other stuff and whatever else. But the hopelessness was there. What's the point of putting this stuff out there? And, I put it out there. No one's going to listen. And yeah, I get it. Most people don't care about this stuff. Most people are hostile. Most people are indifferent to this. I don't know. I don't care. But I've been kind of a pussy. Passively. The Grero thing is kind of passive in the sense that I put it out there thinking that people will just come to it, and then, oh, maybe we can talk about this, oh, secretly, and oh, I want to hide, and I'm a faggot, and well, sort of, I mean, kind of a faggot regardless, right? Because, yeah, it's not gay. It's not gay, but it's not, definitely not straight, yeah. Okay, so it's, yeah, okay. But I did want to talk about this stuff, and it's, oh, I can't, oh, no one's gonna. No, I'm a pussy about it. I mean, that's the passive part of it, is I've been a pussy about this. And I do want to at least hope that, no, I can put this out there. There's billions of people out there. There must be a few people who are interested in this. There must be a few people who get this. And maybe that's how I can build a community around. This is not going to be tomorrow. But this having to rely on strangers, that I can't really have a phone call to anybody who could at least not even pick me up, but just if everything goes wrong, maybe there's somebody who can fucking help me or coordinate rescue activities. It's just, and the anxiety is part of that. I don't think I have, I don't know, I might have more baseline anxiety tendencies than most people, but it doesn't help that, I have to be at it alone at everything. And in some ways it's like, it's kind of a cry for help, a damsel in distress. And part of it's, yeah, I can't live alone. I can't be alone. I can't just be, I can't do that anymore. And this passive stuff of, I'll just even, well, again, the Grero stuff, it's not passive. I did put out some pretty controversial stuff. I put my face and name on it, sort of. So it's like, oh, there's a mosquito buzzing here. I'm not going to get it. It's been buzzing around for a few days. But I can't just passively do this anymore. Well, it's kind of passive, but even kind of looking for other people with the Molyneux stuff, because he kind of talked about the parent stuff. But there was nothing around it in terms of, is there an address I can show up in and people kind of get that stuff? Not really. And look, there's good stuff there. There's great stuff there. I kind of wanted to look back at the old podcasts he had and just kind of write my own summary, because it's pretty cheap to ride the coattails of somebody and critique it or say this is good here, this is not. It's very easy to just ride the coat. Grero itself, if you check it out, it's mostly quotes from other authors. That was my trick, But that's it. Today I'm ending on a kind of a good mood, not too manic, kind of content, because things went my way. But I don't want to have it go my way and then I can be complacent and go back to the passive part of, well, I'll just sit around and maybe something will fall in my lap. That didn't happen. The Molyneux stuff, that's a club soda bottle. It's filled with, I don't know if it doesn't, who cares? But the Molyneux stuff, it's good stuff. I like it. I do want to revisit that. I want to revisit stuff like this and not just rant about it on a kayak and audio record it and yell about Susan Ford being an ignorant slut. Right? That will be uploaded if this goes up, I hope. Yeah. These and I thought I kind of I don't like repeating no, we're not going to go off on that tangent. I got 5 minutes. I'm not doing a second video. You're welcome. Okay, this lasts till 27 minutes. We're at 23, 24 almost. We will have 4 fucking minutes, and I think I got most of this stuff. So I just can't. I really hope this deer shit has kind of woken me out of my complacency. That it's brought me the contentment, the success of today, and hopefully content. And I'll have bad days, but hopefully I'm content enough to where I'm not in an anxious panic or paralysis, and I can finally sit down and say I'm content enough to talk about these sort of things, and and that's basically it. And because there's a lot of stuff that I kind of fantasize, oh, I'll do this, I'll read these, I'll do a review, and then nothing comes of it. It's a good fantasy to have. It's a good, ooh, I'll do this, and I feel better about it, and then I don't do any of it, right? Oh, I'm just waiting. Oh, maybe something will come around, and well, that's not coming. Help is not coming unless it's storm towing. They will come. you know, and Enterprise Rent-A-Car, you know. So yeah, it's just, and it is daunting because, again, the Molyneux stuff, the parent stuff he did on that, I think most of it's great. But where's an address where it's like, we get this stuff, we understand this stuff, a lot of parents are not that great, and for those of us who are a little more sensitive or a little more realistic, whatever you want to say, where's a fucking address? I've searched, it's not to my liking, let's just say. It's not enough. It's not, there just isn't anything that, you know, I mentioned before that'd be nice if, like, you know, there was an actual community around. No, nothing, not a compound. We're not talking that way. But, you know, if, you know, well, if the previous videos go up, I mentioned the Christian guy who helped my car to move the thing off the tire when I got to Johnson City. You know, kind of like that, and then you kind of know that we're on the same wavelength about these things. That sort of thing. It doesn't even have to be a city, just, you know, a few people, you know, that sort of thing. So, you know, hopefully by at least putting this out there, we're you know, I'm kind of getting closer to that. And, you know, it's a daunting task. We'll see. Fine. It's just, and I'm going to have bad days, and that's guaranteed as well. The few guarantees, that's guaranteed that I will continue having horrible moods, anxiety, the suicidal stuff. I think the mosquito bit me. That's also a guarantee. Must be 2 mosquitoes, because that one's still there. But that's it. So, you know, I'm going to process through these videos as well, all 10 million of them now. Ooh, we got a red warning on the timer there. And, you know, 27 minutes, I think that's good.